And welcome back to Dragon Ball Z. What if? What if Earth's Dragon Balls worked like Nameks? Do. Anyway, moving on. So last time we left off with Goku and Shin and everyone going to Babidi's ship so they can go stop Babidi and save everyone and eventually bring back the people. And by the way, I think I mentioned it in the last one, but Kami eventually would upgrade the Dragon Balls, because I believe Purunga did get upgraded as well to do mass revivals. So that is a doable thing now. But when they got there, Deborah came out, turned the few other Z fighters that were there to stone, killed Kibito, and now, yeah, it's just Goku fighting down Babidi's forces. Now, luckily, Goku is stronger than all of them, more or less. So when he gets in there, he immediately comes across Pui Pui and quickly makes work of Pui Pui. Like, if Vegeta in base form could make quick work of Pui Pui, could make quick work of Pui Pui, then Goku can too. But while that's going on, a figure is watching from Babidi's room. He's like, so, you say this Goku is not human, but sane, is that right? And you're not hearing the dialogue right now. But he's communicating. He is talking, but I'm not spoiling who it is. I see. So, then you want your crack at him again, don't you? Well, I suppose that can be arranged. But first, I want to see just what he is working with. Bring in Yakon next, Deborah. Oh, yes, Lord Babidi. And Yakon comes in. The Goku fight goes about the same. His energy gets absorbed. All that. And then he blows up and says, now then, Deborah, very well then, you may go. And they go into the next room where Deborah should be waiting. But Goku says, all right, where's the next guy? Come on. We don't have all day. We need to stop you. Like, I'm right here, Kakarot. And there is Vegeta, who survived the whole King Cold Frieza debacle. But because he was just on his own and tried to kind of control the Empire and failed, he really wasn't that strong. The Genyus, honestly, still outranked him and basically kind of pushed him out. Babidi ultimately ended up fighting him and recruiting him with the Majin symbol. The rage of Goku and all that did push him to Super Saiyan, though. So he is Majin Super Saiyan Vegeta. And he's here for revenge. Like, Vegeta, what are you doing here? Babidi found me adrift in space after you killed Cold and Frieza. The Empire was in shambles. I knew it was my chance to take hold. Unfortunately, there were still parties out there that prevented me from doing this. Even my attempts at a takeover were failed. I was left near dead on a planet. But then he found me and offered me a chance at revenge. Revenge against Frieza. Revenge and his empire, his men, all of it. Once I've just finished help reviving his Majin, whatever it is, I'm going to go back and take what is rightfully owed to me. But there's just a little matter of you. I see. So we're still doing this? Oh yes, Kakarot. It'll never be over between us. And now let me show you what I've learned in this time. He just transforms. So, you learned how to do Super Saiyan 2. Goku transforms. That's right, Kakarot. Now it's just you and me. Full power. All out, all or nothing. Live or die. Who is the strongest? And he goes out and Goku clashes and everything. Boom! And the fight begins. And they do fight it out for a while. Goku doing his best to, put Vegeta down without killing him. Because he doesn't want to kill him, but he will if he has to. Vegeta, meanwhile, having the best time in his life. He's like, you're mine. He's like, you're weak, Kakarot. You know, you never had the gall to do what was necessary. He's actually got Goku by the head. Like, And you should know, power-wise, Vegeta probably is at least close to Goku, but Goku was just surprised by someone being this strong. Only Raditz is really this strong compared to him, at least without a fusion. And he's surprised, so he's taken back, but eventually he just powers like, I've had enough of you, Vegeta! And then powers up to full Super Saiyan 2, which now completely eclipses Vegeta. It's like, that fool, that's right. You Damn you, Kakarot! Damn you! B powers up, gets a bit of a rage boost. They clash for a bit. They're kind of even, but the rage boost subsides after a while. And Goku finally just boom, just right in the solar plexus. Just breaks his ribs, puts him down. Vegeta tries to go. This isn't over, Kakarot. None of it is over. And it's over for you, Vegeta. Just stay down. Never. I will never. It's like, that is enough out of you. And he just snaps his fingers. Just Vegeta's pass out. No, Vegeta! Wake up, Vegeta! Wake up! You're not the only one who knows a thing or two about magic, Babidi. And so ultimately, Goku and Shin make it down to the basement, bottom of the ship, wherever Boo is being held. The fight with Goku and Vegeta definitely bumped up Boo's energy to a little bit, like around 40% compared to where it probably was, like maybe only 10 or 15 at best. But it's still really not enough for Boo to really be brought up. So Dabura steps in. It's over, Babidi. It's like, yeah, you don't know what'll happen if you kill me, boy. Well, maybe your friends will never be brought back to life. He's lying, Goku. I know them better than anything. What they do is lie. So killing him will most likely undo his demon spell of stone. Spit demon spell stone. Say that 3 times fast. Spit demon spell. I can't even say it 1 time. And so Goku and Dabura clash while Shin and Babidi have like kind of a magic key martial arts face off. Babidi's struggling to keep him at bay. He's like, no, just doing everything he can. Dabura and Goku going at it in the ship. They basically break out of the ship, destroying the top half of it. Goku and him clash. Dabura tries to spit at him. Goku just powers up, and the ore just disintegrates the spit. Goku is like, props. This is more to your liking then, boy. And then just goes straight for the statue. Like, no, and just blocks it. It's like, gosh, poof. And he nearly hits Goku, but Goku just, because he's a trained martial artist, comes in and just lays the absolute smackdown on him before just Kame, blasting, but Dabura and just more or less wasting Dabura. It's at that point he notices that Raditz is now brought back to full Hell's like, what happened? Kakarot, what's going on? Don't worry, I'll tell you later. Let's go help but right now let's go help Shin. And Shin is pretty much is pretty much even with Babidi in terms of who's kind of got the upper hand here. The magic, but Babidi's better at magic, but Shin is an actual fighter comparatively, at least on some level. So he does. So they're still kind of like neck and neck, only for Goku to finally show up and help put an end to it. And Babidi is sadly defeated. Honestly killed. Shin is the one who probably takes his life. Like, no more. Well, there's only one thing we have left to do here, Goku. We must find a safe place to keep Boo. I will take him back to my planet. Unfortunately, and we'll use the Dragon Balls to bring back the people that Babidi hurt, including Kabito. And it's like, I very much appreciate it. Thank you for all your help. And he goes off. They eventually use Purunga or Shenron to bring back the dragon, to bring back all the people that were hurt. And so we have the time skip. And in the time skip, Goku and Raditz have still been training. Maybe hitting on Super Saiyan 3 for Goku and Raditz, but neither of them are there yet. Meanwhile, Beerus wakes up, ultimately goes to Earth. Goku doesn't know who this is. Raditz doesn't even know who this is. And so they're a little oblivious, but they can tell something's up. Like, they can't sense ki off him, but that doesn't mean he's not powerful. And at first, everything's fine. But eventually, Goku wants to challenge Beerus, and he gets his ass whooped, and everyone's shocked. And, like, it's like, well, very amusing, but it just proves the Super Saiyan God's not here. Shame. And eventually they ask, like, why don't we just use Shenron to see if they're how to get a Super Saiyan God here? And so they use the wish to see how to get the Super Saiyan God. They explain how to do it. Luckily, they have enough, as Gohan is there, Goten is there, Goku is there, Raditz is there, Trunks is there, and there is also Baby Brawl, probably, because, when you got a smoking wife, You want to take advantage of a smoking life when you can. Plus, I do think Gohan is probably with someone at this point. It might not be Videl. I did say he probably has a crush on Videl. It could be Videl. But either way, they are not relevant apart from having a child with Gohan. And so, ultimately, Goku gets Super Saiyan God. Their fight happens, clashes, all that, and all's well that ends well. And so now we move on to the Resurrection F, where Goku ends up training, gaining control of Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. But does Raditz? See, I don't know if Raditz really is all... Raditz does not feel the need to compete with Goku like Vegeta did. He's content in getting strong. Well, we even made a gravity chamber for him to help him get stronger, but he's more content doing his own thing and getting stronger, which does allow him, at least, to access Super Saiyan 3 after a while. Goku actually is the one who doesn't access Super Saiyan 3. It's Raditz who does, which means he becomes the Nightmare of Hair. And then Frieza ultimately shows up. Raditz is actually able to keep up with Frieza. Not too bad. Even though he's got to go all out just against like base form, final form Frieza, if you will, for true form Frieza, I guess we'll call it. He's actually able to hold out okay until Goku finally shows up with the help of Whis and Beerus. Goku shows up. They have their fight. It ultimately goes in Goku's favor of victory, but he's ultimately taken by surprise. Raditz again comes in after getting healed up with the Senzu and is actually able to put Frieza down before the world gets blown up. And then they go back, reverse things, and Goku just kills Frieza outright. Which then leads us into the Universe 6 tournament. Now, Goku does suggest at that point that Raditz train with him so he can, get stronger and help protect the Earth just like they did, or he did. And Raditz ultimately agrees. Now, he doesn't get Super Saiyan Blue, but he does get Super Saiyan God. I think that's more than enough for right now for Raditz. This, though, leads to a problem with the Universal Tournament. There are not a lot of fighters around anymore. There's no Vegeta, there's no Boo, there's no 17 or 18. So who's going to be their participants? Well, the answer to that is very simple. Goku and Raditz, and then Tien and Krillin, who Krillin has never actually stopped training. He never married or anything like that, so he is very capable of fighting if he needs to. So in with Tien. And they even offer to go first. Then they offer that we are going to actually fight as one. It's like, that's against the rules. Oh, what if we do this? And they do the fusion dance, and Krill is born. But it could also be Tienen? Tienen actually isn't bad. So Tien is born, who's a middle between their height, no nose, third eye, with no hair. As interesting. Fine. If they lose, that means they lose 2 people. Wonderful. I'll accept this. Everyone goes, you better not lose. We only got a half hour, so let's do this. And they deal with Botamo pretty quickly. Strength-wise, where would these guys be at? I actually think they'd be close to Gotenks, if not a little beyond Gotenks' base. And then you get them fighting Frost. Now, Frost is interesting because of his cheat. He ultimately turns into full power. They're evened out pretty well, but Tienen is still the one in the lead. And then they do something that's actually, I think, very smart. They use the multiform technique. And one of them ends up getting knocked out because they fall asleep. And they're wondering how that happened. And ultimately, this leads Tien's eye, the third eye Tien has, to finding the cheat, the dart on Frost's arm. And this gets him disqualified. So Tienen then goes to fight on Miguerta. They ultimately end up beating him just as they unfuse, which then disqualifies them after the fact. And so then Kaba and Raditz have their fight. And Raditz ultimately shows off Super Saiyan, a god to him, which allows him, basically they have the similar mentor-brotherly relationship that Vegeta had. This allows, though, Raditz to completely overwhelm him, only for them Hit to completely overwhelm Raditz, and then Goku to go even with Raditz, except for the fact that he does not have Kaioken, which is actually a problem here. This would lead to, in theory, Goku should lose this. And if that is the case, well, now we have a completely different problem here. Now, luckily, even if Goku did lose this, because Monaka is around, and Goku even said like we can't go full out because we can't kill each other, I think Hit still throws the fight. So fortunately, there is that. Then the Omni King shows up, scares the piss out of Champa and Beerus, and all's well that ends well there. Going into the Goku Black Arc, the question quickly becomes whether or not anything would really change here. I mean, you have Rads over Vegeta, so that attitude that Vegeta has changes. They'd probably be a lot more tag teaming. Rads would ultimately attain Super Saiyan Blue, most likely. So they'd be a lot more tag teamy than Vegeta and Goku were. Excuse me, I just got a lot of gas right now. Probably need a Tums. Then Vegeta and Goku were. So they would probably do a lot better, at least initially, but they'd still have to probably backtrack several times. This would most likely lead to the Raditz Goku fusion again when the time came to fight Fuse Zamasu, or Merge Zamasu. And because it is Gogeta, it does have the evil destroying attack. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it destroys all evil in an individual, which should greatly affect Zamasu. And it probably does. Now, I don't think it still kills them because of the damn immortality wish, at least the partial immortality they still had. But it does greatly hinder them. So I don't think they can merge with the timeline as it was. I think they still try to merge with it, but they're failing and they're not dead yet, which ultimately brings in the fact that they got to call in Zeno as he starts to regain his. They start to regain their power, his power, whatever you want to call it, and start merging with the timeline as it is. But then Zeno comes in and wipes them out from existence. And I think we're going to leave it here. Normally I go longer. I could probably even finish this out in this video, but I want to at least save one more video just because I actually went beyond where I wrote in my notes. So I want to at least write out where I want to go with the rest of this. But until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks next time.